Dr. R. Hemavati is an assistant professor in mathematics in Queen Mary's, Chennai. She has specialized on functional analysis. Having 12 years of experience in teaching, she has won various awards for her performance. She has published papers in 14 international journals, 3 national journals, and has presented papers in 10 international and in 5 national conferences. She is also one of the editors for an international journal.
Welcome to UGC lecture series. In the earlier sessions, we have dealt with probability distribution functions, probability density functions, mass functions, moment generating functions, characteristic function and cumulant generating function. We have also discussed the definition of cumulants. Continuation with the definition of cumulants. In this session, we are going to deal with properties of cumulants, and there ends the specific functions. And then in this session we are also going to deal with bivariate probability distributions. Only the general ideas are to be discussed, only the definitions. The bivariate probability distributions, when you say, we have to talk about marginal and conditional. Let us see how we shall going to deal with this. Okay. First, properties of cumulants. First property is additive property of cumulant, which says that Kr of x1 plus x2 plus etc. plus xn is equal to Kr of x1 plus Kr of x2 plus etc. plus Kr of xn. Okay. This is basically the additive property of cumulants. So, what does x1, x2, x3 etc. xn stands for? x1, x2 etc. up to xn are n independent random variables, and the Kr is the rth cumulant of the random variable x1 plus x2 plus etc. plus xn is equal to the respective cumulants of the random variables addition. Okay. So, let us see how we are going to derive this property. First, we will start with cumulant generating function, that is kx1 plus x2 plus etc. plus xn of t. According to the definition, this is log m x1 plus x2 plus etc. plus xn of t. Okay. By the addition theorem of moment generating function, if x1, x2 etc. up to xn are n independent random variables, then we have m x1 plus x2 plus etc. up to xn of t is equal to the product of the respective moment generating functions. So, using that property, you will have is equal to log m x1 of t into m x2 of t etc. m xn of t. Okay. And using the property of logarithmic of additions, log a b is equal to log a plus log b. This is to the base e. Using this property, we have this is equal to log of m x1 of t plus log of m x2 of t plus etc. plus log of m xn of t to the base e. But each logarithmic stands for the cumulant generating function. This is k x1 of t plus k x2 of t plus etc. plus k xn of t. Hence, we have derived k x1 plus x2 plus etc. plus k xn of t is equal to k x1 of t plus k x2 of t plus etc. plus k xn of t. Now, this is with respect to cumulant generating function, but we are now discussing the additive property of cumulants. By the name itself, cumulant generating function generates cumulants. So, equating the rth cumulant generating, equating the rth cumulant Kr, that is rth cumulant on both sides, rth cumulant on both sides, what you will have? This particular thing says you the rth cumulant is Kr of x1 plus x2 plus etc. plus xn and the rth cumulant of kx1 of t is kr of x1. Similarly, rth cumulant of kx2 of t is kr of x2 plus etc. The rth cumulant of kxn of t is kr of xn. This is the required additive property of cumulants from the cumulant generating function we have derived. So, next we have to prove the effect of change of origin and scale on cumulants. This type of effect of change of origin and scale we have seen with respect to moment generating function and characteristic function. Let us see how it is going to affect your cumulants. Effect of change of origin on cumulant generating function first we have to derive, then on the cumulants we will derive. Okay. So, first of all let us take the cumulant generating functions effect on change of origin and scale. Okay. From the definition, again kx of t is equal to, this is cumulant generating function, log mx of t. Okay. If you take u is equal to x minus a by h, the scale is changed to h 1 by h and the origin is skipped from x to x minus a. So, for this change of origin and scale, what happens to the cumulant generating function, and hence to cumulants we have to see. So, first of all ku of t let us find out. Ku of t is actually log mu of t. This is equal to log of m x minus a by h into t. So, as already discussed with the effect of change of origin and scale in moment generating function, this is equal to log of e power minus a t by h into mx of t by h. Okay. Again using log a b is equal to log a plus log b, we have this is equal to log of e power minus a t by h plus log of mx of t by h, isn't it? E power minus a t by h is a and mx of t by h is b. So, log a b is equal to log a plus log b. Okay. And log to the base e and e to the power is minus a t by h log e to the base e. So, that it becomes 1 and this is particularly k x of t by h. Okay. So, we have derived k x minus a by h of t is equal to minus a t by h plus k x of t by h. Okay. This is with respect to cumulant generating functions. From the properties of cumulants, what happens we have to see. Okay. And this is written as ku of t and it generates the cumulants as k1 dash of t plus k2 dash of t square by 2 factorial plus k3 dash into t cube by 3 factorial plus etc. plus kr dash into t power r by r factorial plus etc. up to infinity. What happens to the right hand side? Right hand side is minus a t by h plus this particular thing generates k1 of t by h plus k2 into t by h whole square by 2 factorial plus etc. kr into t by h whole power r by r factorial plus etc. up to infinity. If the right hand side is not clear, I will write it again, is equal to minus a t by h plus k1 into t by h plus k2 into t by h whole square by 2 factorial plus etc. kr into t by h whole power r by r factorial plus etc. up to infinity. Now, equating the t powers, equating t power r by r factorial on both sides, where r is equal to 1, 2 etc. up to infinity. We will have first of all k1 dash. k1 dash is equal to minus a by h plus k1 by h, and factorial is not included because we are equating t power r by r factorial. So, k2 dash is k2 into 1 by h square and kr dash is kr into 1 by h power r. Okay. So, we have found out the cumulant generating function of u, right. So, we have kr dash which is the cumulant of cumulant generating function of x minus a by h of t, right. This is equal to kr by h power r. When you see from k2 to kr etc., all does not have the effect of origin, but only the effect of scale is seen, kr by h power r. Only the first cumulant differs as k1 dash is equal to k1 minus a by h. Except the first cumulant, all the other cumulants does not have effect of origin on the scale. We have discussed the cumulants now with the properties of cumulants, definition of cumulants and properties of cumulants are discussed. So far we have dealt with various generating functions and characteristic functions etc. That was with respect to one dimensional random variable. We have studied the probability distributions, probability density functions, probability mass functions, everything with respect to one dimensional random variable. So far in the so far sessions we have dealt only with one dimensional. Next in the next topic we are going to deal with bivariate probability distributions, which will be two dimensional random variable. Let us have a break. Welcome after the break. Before the break we have seen some properties of cumulants in continuation with the earlier sessions of cumulant generating functions. So far discussed only one dimensional random variable. Next we are going to deal with the two dimensional random variables, that is called as bivariables. Bi means two dimensional. Okay. So, how does the values takes? We have dealt only with x so far, and now since we are going to go for two dimensional, we have to discuss with one more variable, that is called y. So, it says if x and y are two random variables defined on the same sample space, both the random variables should be defined on the same sample space, then the function x comma y, as already discussed, random variable is a function taking the values from one set to another set, it is going to be a real valued function. So, x comma y is also a function that assigns a point in R square. Real valued we have already discussed, real valued means only in R it takes the values as real number. Since you are going to discuss with x comma y, which is two dimensional, and you have a two dimensional plane, and it will take values only in R square. R square means R cross R, that is x axis and y axis plane, is called a two dimensional random variable. Okay. So, as discussed in one dimensional random variable, discrete case and continuous case. Discrete is with respect to countable values and continuous with respect to values in a interval. So, here also we are going to discuss with two dimensional discrete random variables, that is both x and y should be discrete in one case and x and y should be continuous in another case. A two dimensional random variable is said to be discrete if it takes at most a countable number of points. The countable may be finite or infinite, as discussed in one dimensional. Everything we are just magnifying it for 2. Already we have discussed with one dimensional, everything we are going to magnify it for 2. So, at most countable number of points in R square. R square is a plane, x and y axis plane. When a random variable is defined, definitely its probability function has to be defined, like for discrete probability mass function and for continuous its probability density function. Since it is two dimensional, we will have bivariate probability mass function or called joint probability mass function. If x comma y is a two dimensional discrete random variable, x comma y two dimensional discrete random variable means both x and y should be discrete. Okay, one is a discrete, another one is continuous, is not allowed, both should be discrete. Then the joint discrete function of x and y, also called the joint probability function, mass function of x comma y, and also at par with the syllabus given to you, it should be bivariate probability mass function. It is denoted by p x comma y, is defined as p x y of x I comma y j. It means it is the probability that x is taking the value x I and y is taking the value y j. So, x values will range with I with respect to I taking the values 1, 2, 3 etc. up to n, and j taking the values 1, 2, 3 etc. up to m. Okay, this is specific values. It may vary for one random variable to another random variables. So, therefore, if it is defined, it should be defined as p of x is equal to x I and y is equal to y j. It means in all the other places it is 0, 0 otherwise. This is the definition for joint probability mass function for a specific value x I comma y j, which is belonging to the random variable function x comma y. Okay. We know that total probability is 1. So, how we are going to describe the total probability is 1 in terms of two dimensional random variable, that is double summation p x y of x I comma y j is equal to 1, that is one summation ranging for I and another summation is ranging for j. Okay. I is equal to 1 to n and j is equal to 1 to m. The total probability is 1. Just recall, with respect to one dimensional random variable, we have mentioned only single summation p of x is equal to 1, where x will range. Here both has to range, since x is indexed with I and y is indexed with j, I will range for one summation and j will range for another summation, where the summation is taken over all possible values of x comma y. This only differs with respect to one dimensional random variable, that is we have discussed joint probability mass function with respect to x and y. Then we have to discuss with respect to x separately and with respect to y separately. This is what is called marginal probability mass functions. So, first of all, let us take the x comma y be a two dimensional discrete random variable which takes up countable number of values x I comma y j. Then the marginal probability mass function of x is defined as p x of x I. This is equal to probability of x is equal to x I. So, when x is equal to x I means y is not here. So, y must be ranged. This y ranges from j is equal to 1 to m with respect to p x y x I comma y j. So, when y is ranged, the remaining is only x. So, this is with respect to marginal probability mass function of x. Okay. Similarly, the marginal probability mass function of y is defined as p y of y j. It means probability of y is taking the value y j. So, the summation of joint probability function should range for I is equal to 1 to n p of x y x I comma y j. So, when x is ranged, you have only left out with y. Okay, y is kept as constant. So, only the remaining function will be in terms of y, that is the marginal probability mass function of y. Then conditional probability mass functions. So, like marginal probability mass functions of x separately and y separately, this is conditional probability mass function. As we have discussed the conditional probability, just recall the definition of conditional probability: p of a given b is equal to p of a intersection b divided by p of b. Okay. So, that is p of a is the probability of a given that b has already occurred, is equal to joint, that is intersection of a and b, and divided by probability function of probability of only b. So, with respect to this conditional probability definition, we can define conditional probability mass function. So, here also we take the x and y as two dimensional discrete random variable, then the conditional probability mass function of x given y is equal to y is given as p of x given y, it is x by y is equal to, by the conditional probability definition itself, this is equal to p of x equal to xi comma y is equal to yj divided by p of y is equal to yj, provided the denominator is not 0. So, what is the denominator? P of y is equal to yj is not equal to 0. Okay. This is conditional probability mass function of x given y has already occurred. Then we have to talk about its reverse, that is conditional probability mass function of y given x is equal to x. Similarly, conditional probability mass function of y given x is equal to x is p of y given x y by x is equal to p of x equal to xi comma y is equal to yj, x taking the value xi and yj divided by p of x equal to xi. Here also the denominator should not be 0. Denominator is 0 means then the probability becomes invalid and it is a null probability. Okay. And we have discussed the probability mass functions, two dimensional probability mass function, marginal probability mass function of x, marginal probability mass function of y, conditional probability mass function of x given y and conditional probability mass function of y given x. Then in continuation with the one dimensional random variable, like we have defined a distribution function, here also we have two dimensional distribution function. Let us see how it is defined. The distribution function of the two dimensional random variable x comma y is a real valued function f. Real valued function means it takes the values in R square, real numbers, defined for all x and y by the relation capital Fxy of x comma y is equal to p of x less than or equal to x comma y less than or equal to y. When two dimensional probability distribution function is defined, we have to talk about marginal probability distribution function also. Okay. So, the marginal probability distribution function of x with respect to the joint distribution function fxy x comma y, this is one in we have seen in one dimensional random variable. So, with respect to two dimensional, how it is going to verify, how it is going to be defined, that we are going to see. So, fx of x is equal to p of x less than or equal to x is equal to p of x less than or equal to x and y is ranging with all values, y is less than infinity. So, how it is defined, like this is equal to limit y tends to infinity, the joint fxy and x comma y, joint probability distribution function of x. We are defining marginal distribution function of x with respect to joint probability distribution function of x and y. So, as y tends to infinity, this becomes fxy of x comma infinity, right. Similarly, the marginal distribution function of y with respect to joint distribution function of fxy x comma y is similarly defined as fy of y is equal to p of y less than or equal to y and is equal to p of x less than infinity y less than or equal to y, as written limit x tending to infinity of fxy of x comma y, and as x tends to infinity, this is fxy of infinity comma y. In this session, we have dealt with the properties of cumulants and some basic and general ideas about bivariate probability functions. Only a discrete random variable only we have discussed, that is for two dimensional discrete function, two dimensional bivariate probability mass function, then marginal probability mass function of x, marginal probability mass function of y, conditional probability mass function of x given y and conditional probability mass function of y given x. Then we have stepped in into discussing about two dimensional distribution function of x and y along with the marginal distribution function of x and marginal distribution function of y. Okay. Only the basic and general ideas were discussed along with mentioning about total probability is 1. Based on the discussions in this session, you can expect this kind of exercise problems, that is discuss the properties of cumulants and give general ideas about bivariate probability discrete distributions with marginal and conditional PMFs. Only the general ideas with respect to definitions, if you give, it is enough. Thank you.